Hello, in this video we will understand about the neuromuscular junction and the adaptation by exercise training. So how it can adapt and how it can increase the synapse as well as increase the receptor. Receptor is known as the acetylcholine receptor. Let's here is the person which that's contain a brain and spinal cord. This spinal cord is used for the muscle contraction and the control via a motor neuron, while the sensory neuron as a reflex arc we will discuss now. This is a spinal cord contain a gray matter and white matter is the gray matter is the butterfly like structure inside in the middle. While this is the spinal cord, let's begin to understand the reflex arc. What is this? This is the dorsal root of ganglion and ventral root of ganglion. Dorsal root of ganglion will receive the signal from the skin as well as other like joints will move toward the spinal cord via a sensory neuron. For example, the a stimulus can be touch, pressure, pain, temperature, etc. Whenever it will be received the signal, depolarization will move the dorsal root of ganglion toward the gray matter of the spinal cord. The interneuron is involved will lead to give the signal. For example, it can also move toward the brain is known as the ascending pathway. While on the other hand, the some neurons involved for the quick response via a spinal cord through interneuron to the effector to the effector, the muscle. In this way, the motor neuron is lead to neuromuscular junction with the muscle will lead to muscle contraction as a response. The neuromuscular junction synapse between muscle and neuron. Anyway, let's begin to understand how it can adapt and how to increase the depolarization of the muscle fiber. This is the presynaptic neuron and this is the receptor. In this way, the vesicle will be increased due to the exercise adaptation. And in this way, the receptor when increased, the affinity of the neurotransmitter binding will be increased. And on the other hand, the branching will increase for the releasing of the neurotransmitter more and more is known as the neuroplasticity. Here is the motor neuron will interact with the muscle as a skeletal muscle voluntary control. In this way, the presynaptic motor neuron, which that will transmit the signal via a depolarization, exocytosis of the neurotransmitter, synapse between neuron and muscle fiber cell. This neuromuscular junction we will discuss now, how it can work. Let's begin to understand. So here is you can see this is the diagram which that is presynaptic neuron and the postsynaptic neuron muscle postsynaptic cell as a muscle for getting the response, and the synaptic cleft is the synapse, the gap junction. This is the channels and the calcium will move inside. In this way, when calcium will move inside will trigger depolarization will lead to exocytosis of the vesicle, synaptic vesicle, which that's contain acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter. This calcium will lead to trigger. So in this way, here is a mitochondria, which that will lead to produce the acetyl-CoA, and the enzyme are present will lead to convert this acetyl-CoA into the CoA, while the choline will be reuptake from the choline transporter channel will lead to combine together via acetylcholine, acetyl-CoA will release the CoA, but the acetyl will bind with the choline will lead to exercise will lead to increase this, and the synaptic vesicle will lead to exocytosis. After this, the acetylcholine will bind with the acetylcholine receptor. In this way, the acetylcholine receptor will trigger more sodium channel to influx of the sodium will lead to calcium move inside more. This will lead to number of receptor increase with training, and the acetylcholine esterase enzyme will increase more due to the high exercise. Sorry, the acetylcholine esterase enzyme will be decreased due to the not reuptake too much choline and acetyl. So in this way, the working will lead to cascade of phosphorylation for the contraction of the muscle via exocytosis of the calcium will bind with the myosin and actin, troponin. The endurance exercise training is this form of increased the neuromuscular activity is the characterized by extended period of continuous neuromuscular activity performed at a moderate sub-maximal intensity. Commonly, this is by running and swimming and bicycling. Remember, but this is the endurance exercise training, while the resistance training is the weightlifting, which that is basically the weightlifting is the another which that is required, and in this way the breakdown of the muscle will increase more due to the resistance training, and the weight lifting increase the receptors in the postsynaptic terminals and release neurotransmitter easily. So I hope you make sense about the synapse and how synapse can be adapted on the basis of the environmental changes, like increase the exercise will lead to increase the receptors, postsynaptic receptors, acetylcholine receptor, and increase the vesicle of neurotransmitters. I hope you make sense about this. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video. For this time, bye.